Hello and welcome to this webinar on the English for Heritage Language Speakers program. My name is Emily Magaziner and I work with the EHLS program at the Center for Applied Linguistics, and I'm here today with my colleague.
I'm Maria Mariani and I am the program manager and the director of recruitment for the EHLS program at Georgetown University.
Okay, so in today's presentation we'll introduce EHLS. We'll talk about the service requirement as well as the academic program, and then I'll talk about how to apply. Okay, so EHLS is a scholarship program with a focus on professional English communication skills and career skills. The program trains advanced speakers of English to be effective communicators and strong candidates for federal jobs. It's hosted by Georgetown University here in Washington, D.C., and every scholar admitted to the program receives a full scholarship funded by the federal government. The program is 8 months in length, with the first 6 months at Georgetown University. That's the full-time portion of the program. And then the final 2 months are part-time conducted online. Participants are native speakers of critical languages. We have 21 languages on the list this year. And all participants have a strong interest in public service. They come from diverse cultural, educational, and professional backgrounds, but they are united by an interest in and a commitment to public service. So why EHLS? EHLS was established because critical language skills are in high demand in the U.S. government. There are other government-sponsored programs to teach critical languages to native English speakers, but this is really the only program designed to prepare individuals with native knowledge of critical languages for the federal workplace. And EHLS is a partnership among 3 different organizations. The first is the National Security Education Program, or NSEP, and that organization provides the funding for the program. And then there's the Center for Applied Linguistics, where I work, and we oversee instruction and coordinate language testing. And then Georgetown University, which provides instruction. EHLS started in 2006, so that means that 2018 will be the 13th program year. Okay, so a little bit now on the scholarship benefits and terms. Scholarships are funded by the National Security Education Program, and each scholarship provides full tuition and fees for the 8-month academic program, as well as a living stipend. And that living stipend is $3,600 per month during the first 6 months, and then $1,200 per month during the last 2 months. In addition, for scholars moving from outside the Washington, D.C. metro area, NSEP can reimburse relocation costs of up to $1,000. Other benefits include health insurance through Georgetown University, a laptop computer on which you will complete EHL assignments, and you can also keep this laptop after the program ends, and a certificate from Georgetown University once you successfully complete the program. But scholars must agree to 3 terms that we've outlined here. And the first is full-time attendance and successful completion of the academic program. You must also agree not to work during the full-time portion of the academic program, and you must accept a service requirement that you'll complete after the academic program. Okay, so the criteria. You must be a U.S. citizen at the time of application. You must be a native speaker of one of the 21 languages listed here, and you must have professional level proficiency in that language. You must have advanced proficiency in English, and I'll note here that your proficiency in both English and your native language will be formally tested. And we'll discuss the details of that process a little bit later in this presentation. You need to have a college degree, so that's a bachelor's degree or the equivalent of a bachelor's degree. You need to be able to use the internet, word processing programs, and PowerPoint. You must commit to a full-time day program from January through June here in Washington, D.C. at Georgetown University. And you must be willing to work for the federal government for at least 1 year in a position with national security responsibilities. It will be your responsibility to find that position. And then one other note, a person can only receive the EHLS scholarship once. Okay, so that brings us to the service requirement, and I'll pass it over to Maria.
Okay, so in exchange for the scholarship, the stipend, the health insurance, the laptop, you have a service requirement, and that is a commitment to work for the federal government in the area of national security for a minimum of 1 year. It could be a federal agency or a government contractor. If it's a government contractor, the contract has to be a DOD, 80% DOD contract. And you have up to 3 years to actually land the job, from the time you graduate to the time you actually begin the job. The job search is the scholar's responsibility, and we ask that you make a good faith effort to find the job yourself. We are not a job placement agency, and at Georgetown we provide the instruction, we introduce you to lots of people, but ultimately it is your job search. So, fulfilling the service requirement. The priority agencies, all positions fulfill the requirement. So, the IC, the intelligence community, it could be FBI, CIA, DIA, NSA, National Geospatial, National Ground Intelligence, et cetera, et cetera. Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, Department of State. So, positions in other federal departments or government contractors may be acceptable, but it's subject to the approval of our funder, NCEP, and you would have to make a case for that particular job. And it's not impossible, but you would be responsible for making a case that it has national security responsibilities. So, fulfilling the service requirement, continuation. So, past scholars have had positions such as these. These are not the only positions, but these are some of the positions that are the most common. A lot of people go to FBI as linguists. We have people at CENTCOM, people at NSA as analysts, DIA as you see here, CIA. This kind of gives you an idea of the kinds of positions that people have had in the past. And you do get support from us at EHLS in finding a job. The career skills instructor is the person that is responsible for helping you navigate this job search. And you have events that are scheduled every week, networking opportunities throughout the academic year. You have also assistance from our funder, the NCEP staff, upon graduation. And then there is a portal called NCEPNet, and this is, you register to be on NCEPNet, and this is how many scholars find out about amazing jobs, and these jobs come to our scholars before everyone else sees them. So this is a great way to land a job through these announcements. Also, as an EHLS scholar, you have a special hiring authority advantage, which is called Schedule A, and that means that if an agency needs someone with your expertise, they could cut through the red tape of hiring you because you are a Schedule A candidate for the job. Okay, now to the academic program. So the goals of our academic program is to get our scholars to reach a high-level proficiency in all 4 skills in English: reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and also to help develop your key professional skills. and ultimately to understand the federal government job search process and the culture of the federal government workplace. Some of the features. The curriculum focuses on professional English skills. We have guest speakers from various branches of the government that come on Fridays, and our scholars have a schedule of all the people that would be coming. And then our capstone project is an analysis project that we call OSAP, and it is the opportunity for our scholars to do research with federal agency mentors and then present their findings with the mentors in attendance, along with many other guests that we invite from all different agencies and sectors of the federal government. We also have seminars with recruiters, and those also are on Fridays, where we bring agencies and government contractors to meet our scholars. And this is the opportunity for our scholars to actually hand their resumes to these recruiters, and many of the recruiters will give you cards, will track your application if you apply to their agency, and help move your application along. And this is an unbelievable feature of the program, because many times these jobs have as many as 4,000 or more applicants, but for your application to be tracked by one of the federal agency recruiters is very big. So the foundation of the EHLS curriculum. So we work on your communication skills for the federal workplace, and we have you reading articles on current issues and conducting research and reports. You may be making a presentation daily, depending on which class you're in. And so by the time you are ready to make your huge presentation for your OSAP project, you have practiced and repracticed your presentations many times. We teach you how to draw sound analytical conclusions, organizing concise reports, and we teach you how to write a federal style brief and a federal style report, which is very different from academic writing. We also teach you how to make a federal style oral brief and an oral presentation. We teach you email protocol in English, so that when you are sending emails you feel confident in English language emails. We also have a negotiation component where we bring in someone to help understand how to negotiate with supervisors and clients. We have another component which is teaching you how to run effective meetings. You will, by the time you're done with our program, have a perfectly beautiful resume. Many times our scholars come with a skeleton. It is not really a resume, and by the time they're done, their resume is perfection. And then we also prepare you for your job interview. We have some agency folks that come and help with mock interviews, where several of our scholars are chosen to stand in front of the class and do this mock interview with someone from one of the agencies, and this is really helpful. We also teach you how to dress for an interview, and also we teach you how to give a 1 to 2 minute elevator speech should you be in a situation where you need to speak to someone about yourself and what you're looking for in a job. And our courses. So we have an intensive program, which is the first 6-month program, and that is what we call the intensive program. And in this program you have courses such as the ones listed: reading, writing for professionals, the writing lab. So if you're with a reading writing teacher A, you would have a writing lab with the reading writing teacher B, and vice versa. So you have 2 people working on your writing skills. Then we have a professional oral communications course, where this is where we teach you how to stand up and make presentations. We we tape you. We have you on film. You get to review your presentations and work on perfecting your style. Then there's a news analysis course, which is a very important part of our curriculum. And then, of course, the career skills class, where you are working on finding a job and doing your resume and meeting people from the different agencies. And also, that's where the guest speakers come from the agencies on Fridays. Then we have the part-time online, and that is July and August. And this can be done anywhere where you have access to the internet. And we found that in past years, our scholars still need help with writing and still need some coaching in finding a job. So we have continued the program for an additional 2 months, part-time online, for the writing and the career skills aspect of the program. The Open Source Analysis Project, OSAP, which I mentioned earlier, is the capstone analytical research assignment. So our scholars have the opportunity to look at topics that are submitted by different agencies. And usually what happens is the agencies get a spreadsheet on our scholars without any names, but with the scholars' backgrounds, languages that they speak, educational and professional skills that they have, where they went to school, where they lived. And based on that, the mentors submit topics that they would like our scholars to help them with. And the reason usually is that the mentors perhaps are experts in that area of the world and that topic, but maybe do not speak the native language of the area. So our scholars do the research not only in English, but in their native languages. And sometimes it's more than one language where the research is done in conjunction with the help of a mentor leading them through the research. The scholars present their analysis to the federal agencies and representatives, government contractors at the formal symposium, and it's an oral presentation, but on hand they have their written reports, and people in the audience can request the written report. And usually we tape the symposium, and then their presentations are posted on the InceptNet portal. The benefits of participation. Well, one of the huge benefits is confidence, and this is what everyone says. After they graduate, they cannot believe the confidence that they have gained in the English-speaking professional environment, and it is a true metamorphosis for some people. Some of our scholars have never made a presentation in front of an audience, let alone in their language, not even in their language, let alone English. And so here they are standing in front of a huge audience, making presentations and practicing before they get to the huge symposium. And this is very much confidence building, along with the other parts of the curriculum. So improved English is another benefit. We test your English proficiency level, and we test you before you get into the program. We test you in the middle of the program, and then we compare your proficiency level by testing you at the end of the program, and it's measured by a government rating system. And you can put this rating on your resume, both in the English proficiency test that we give you and also your native language test that we give you at the beginning of the program. Also, you get a professional portfolio that you could present to potential employers. And in this portfolio, you can include, of course, your resume. You include your proficiency levels in the languages that you've been tested in. And then you get a certificate that you could also put in the program, and it's a certificate from Georgetown University that opens doors, and it does open doors. So the 2008 program schedule is as such. So the full-time intensive day program on campus starts January 8th and goes to June 29th. And then the part-time online that can be done anywhere, as long as you have the ability to get online, is July 9th through August 24th. And because our program is so intensive, we give you a one-week break in between all the sessions. And this is your opportunity to schedule any kind of appointments that you have, dentists, doctors, tax accountant, whatever you need. You know, if you need to get married, whatever, you know, this is your chance to schedule your special events, and we let you know in advance. So as you can see, March 5th through March 9th is our first break before we go into session 2. Then the next break is April 30th through May 4th. And then we go into session 3, which is May 7th through June 29th. And then there's one last session break before session 4, which is July 2nd to the 6th of July. And then you start the part-time online, which is July 9th through August 24th. Our graduation for 2018 is August 27th, and it is mandatory that all our scholars come back for graduation. And here is a sample of what your schedule might be like. It's not guaranteed, but it just gives you an idea. So you may start the day with reading and writing, and then you may have a little break, an independent research break. You could eat lunch here, or you can do homework while you're on campus. Sometimes you may have a tutorial scheduled in this slot. And then perhaps you would follow that up with the news analysis class, and then the career skills class. And then perhaps you'd have writing lab. And then 3 to 4, some days you may have a tutorial with a certain instructor. Other days you may be free during this slot and can do homework. And then you may end up the day with your oral communications class. So you can plan on being with us every day, Monday through Friday, from about 8:30 to 5:30.
Okay, so I'll pick up from there. Thanks, Maria. And now we'll talk about how to apply. So the application process has 2 stages. In the first stage, you'll submit your application and the supporting documents, and you'll also complete a telephone interview in English. And all candidates will complete this stage, stage 1. Some candidates will be invited to stage 2. And in stage 2, you'll take the language and technology skills test in Washington, D.C. And you'll also receive notification of your results and status. Okay, so a few important dates for this year's recruitment season. Right now, we are accepting applications. You can also make your telephone interview appointment online. So please see our website, ehlsprogram.org, for the link to the application. And then the deadline for the application is July 17th, 2017. So that's the deadline for the application, the supporting documents, and the phone interview. Then in September, EHLS staff will notify candidates of their status. Some candidates will be provisionally selected. And in October, those provisionally selected candidates will complete skills testing in Washington, D.C. So you must be available on Saturday, October 14th, 2017, to take the English language proficiency test and a basic computer skills test as well. You will also complete the oral proficiency interviews, so speaking tests in English and in your native language, in October. Then EHLS staff will notify candidates of their final status in November 2017, and then the program starts on January 8th, 2018. Okay, so this is just an overview of the application process. You see the 3 requirements there for stage 1: complete your application, confirm that all necessary supporting documents have been submitted, and then complete a phone interview, all by the deadline of July 17th, 2017. Okay, so we have a link there to our website, and you'll see a link to the online application on the landing page of our website. Be sure that you complete all sections of the application. You also want to be sure that you upload all of the required supporting documents to the system. So that includes your resume. It also includes a transcript. And I'll note here that foreign degrees must be evaluated. So you'll need to contact a credential evaluation service for that evaluation. And then you'll need to upload that evaluation with the transcript. Evaluation can sometimes be a lengthy process, taking up to 2 months. So you'll want to start early to avoid missing the deadline. And then references, you'll need to select 2 or 3 professional references. So references are people who will write a recommendation letter for you. You'll enter their contact information into the online application system, and then they'll receive email notification from us. If possible, 1 recommendation should be from your current supervisor. You might also consider former supervisors, maybe professors, but we do ask that you keep it professional. So we suggest that you do not choose family members or personal friends. And then you'll receive an automated email confirming the submission of your application. Okay, so the telephone interview, you'll need to complete that between June 1st and July 17th. And we suggest that you make an appointment as soon as possible so that you can secure a date and a time that work for your schedule. And you'll need to call us at your scheduled time. So when you book the telephone interview through the website, ehlsapplication.org, you'll receive a confirmation email, and that will list the telephone number that you'll need to call. If you don't call us, we won't be able to call you, and we cannot guarantee the rescheduling of a missed interview. Okay, so now moving on to stage 2. 80 or up to 80 provisionally selected candidates will be invited to Washington, D.C. for skills testing at Georgetown University. And we'll administer a day-long required test on Saturday, October 14th. And there's no alternate date for that test. So you definitely need to be available on Saturday, October 14th. So that test is called the English Language Proficiency Test, and it will test your listening, reading, and writing abilities in English. You'll also need to complete oral proficiency interviews, OPIs, in English and in your native language. For candidates who are coming into DC from outside the DC area, we'll definitely do our best to schedule those OPIs within 2 days of the required Saturday test. So you'll likely take the OPIs on Friday or on Sunday. We can't administer the OPIs on that Saturday because your day is already so packed with the ELPT. As for local candidates will complete the 2 OPIs during the week prior to or immediately following October 14th. On the same day that you take your OPIs, we'll also administer a test of basic computer skills, and we strongly encourage you to practice for that technology test, and we have a resource and a description on our website. So I have a link there that will lead you to that. And we do strongly, again, encourage you to prepare for that. Then EHLS staff will extend offers of admission in November 2017. We anticipate selecting between 15 and 20 scholars. Okay, a few tips. With regard to stage 1, we suggest that you schedule your telephone interview now. So go ahead and create an application on EHLSapplication.org, and you'll be able to book an appointment through that site. And again, you'll complete the interview between June 1st and July 17th. Also, we suggest that you use information from your resume to complete the employment section of your application. So the information that you fill in on your application should be consistent with your resume. That makes it easier for the application reviewers to understand your education history and your work history and understand any gaps that there might be. Okay, you'll want to gather your transcript documents as soon as possible. And again, if your transcript is from a foreign institution, you will need to have it evaluated. And we have a link to a list of credential evaluation services on our website, ehlsprogram.org. You'll want to ask for your references early so that you give them enough time to craft a good letter on your behalf. And then you'll want to write specific and detailed essays. And it's very important that you clearly demonstrate your interest in working for the federal government in those essays. Okay, stage 2, again, you'll want to prepare for the computer skills test using information on the EHLS website. And we have this link here is a link to a self-assessment listing skills that you'll need to be successful on that basic computer skills test. Okay, we do have a number of upcoming recruitment events, informational events in the Washington, D.C. area and across the country. So please check EHLSprogram.org for a schedule of recruiting events, and we'll be updating that throughout the recruitment season. Also, you'll want to like EHLS on Facebook. We do announce our events and other tips and updates. So that's EHLS program on Facebook. Okay, if you have any questions or if you need any assistance, this is our contact information here. Maria, you can contact Maria if you need help with regard to information on EHLS information sessions in the DC area. If you have questions about the EHLS curriculum, schedule, or Georgetown facilities, please feel free to contact me, Emily Magaziner, if you need information on telephone interviews, language testing, EHLS informational events outside the DC area. And then please contact Craig Fredrickson if you need any assistance with the online application system. So thank you very much for watching this webinar, and we hope to receive your application.